Okay, so let's get right into it. We all make hundreds, if not thousands, of decisions every single day. But have you ever wondered why some of them just feel, well, wrong in hindsight? Well, according to Nobel Prize winner Daniel Kahneman, it's not because you're bad at making decisions. The secret is that your brain has two completely different systems for thinking, and believe me, they are often at war with each other. You totally know this feeling, right? You're in a store, or maybe you're scrolling online, and you see something. You get that sudden, powerful urge, and boom, you've bought it. But the second you get it home, that shiny new thing, it just doesn't seem so great anymore. And you're left with that sinking feeling, asking yourself, what was I thinking? Yeah, that exact moment is where our story really begins. Or how about this one? You're in a conversation, maybe it's a little heated, and this perfect comeback just flies out of your mouth. It feels so clever for a split second, but then you immediately wish you could just grab the words and stuff them back in. We've all been there, right? Wishing for a real-life rewind button? Well, the reason for all these moments, this buyer's remorse and foot-and-mouth disease, it all comes down to this incredible tug-of-war that's happening inside your head. It's like you're running two different operating systems. One is super fast, it's all instinct, and the other, well, it's thoughtful and slow. And understanding this basic conflict is the absolute key to making smarter choices. So, let's properly meet the two main characters in this drama. Kahneman calls them System 1 and System 2, which is fine, but I think it's way easier to imagine them as two personalities living inside your mind. Each one has its own unique strengths, its own way of doing things, and, this is the important part, its own major flaws. So on one side, you've got System 1. This is your brain's automatic pilot. It's lightning fast, it's emotional, and it runs on gut feelings and instinct. Then, on the other side, you have System 2. This is your careful, logical co-pilot. It is slow, it's deliberate, and it takes real, conscious effort to get it to do anything. As you can see, they are polar opposites. Let's dig into System 1 a bit more. This is your brain's default energy-saving mode. It's the reason you can instantly know the answer to 2 plus 2 or spot a friend's face in a huge crowd. You don't even have to try. Its whole purpose is to be fast and efficient, to save you mental energy. But as we're about to see, that speed comes with a hefty price. And then there's System 2. This is the big guns. This is the part of your brain you have to consciously turn on to do hard things, like solving a tricky math problem or trying to figure out a mortgage. It's incredibly powerful, it's rational, but it has one huge, massive weakness. It's lazy. I mean, fundamentally lazy. It takes a lot of calories to run System 2, so your brain will do almost anything to avoid using it. So, what happens when we let our fast, lazy, automatic System 1 run the show all the time? Well, we get glitches. Think of them as bugs in your mental software. These are the predictable, repeatable mistakes in thinking, what scientists call cognitive biases, that happen when our autopilot just gets it plain wrong. And here's the absolute heart of the problem. System 1's main strategy is basically shoot first, ask questions later. It takes the first bits of information it sees, creates a quick and easy story that makes sense, and then just runs with it. It almost never pauses to ask, hey, wait a second, is this story actually true? And that's where the trouble starts. Okay, first glitch on our list, the anchor effect. Let's say you're buying a used car, and the seller says, I'm asking for $25,000. That's it. That number is now the anchor. From that moment on, every single price you think about, your counteroffer, what you're willing to pay, is secretly tied to that first number. System 1 just grabs onto it and refuses to let go, even if the price was pulled out of thin air. Next up, we have the stereotype trap. You might also hear this called the representativeness heuristic. This is System 1 playing a flawed game of pattern matching. It sees someone who, is quiet and wears glasses, and it instantly jumps to the conclusion, oh, they must be a librarian. It completely ignores the statistical fact that there are way, way, way more salespeople in the world than librarians. The stereotype just feels more representative. And that leads us right to another classic, the availability glitch. Basically, our brain has this weird rule. If something is easy to remember, it must happen a lot. Think about it. When there's a plane crash, it's all over the news. The images are dramatic, they're vivid, they stick in your mind. So System 1 concludes that flying must be super risky, even though the actual statistics show it's one of the safest things you can do. The easy-to-remember story beats the cold, hard data every time.
All right, so our brains are riddled with these glitches. It sounds kind of bad, right? But here's the good news, and it's really good news. Once you understand how these glitches work, you can actually start to outsmart them. It's time to build a toolkit to wake up that lazy but brilliant co-pilot, your System 2.
The key to all of this, the real secret, is that we can train ourselves to be better thinkers. And it all starts with one simple but incredibly powerful move. Just pause. Before you make a big decision, just stop for a second. That pause is the window of opportunity that System 2 needs to wake up and get involved. Next, question your gut feeling. Ask yourself, is this my intuition speaking, or could this be one of those glitches, like the anchor effect? Third, you have to know what you're up against. Just being aware of these common biases, like we're discussing right now, is a huge step toward avoiding them. And finally, you have to intentionally activate System 2. This means making the conscious choice to do the hard mental work when the stakes are high. So let's zoom out for the big picture here. Why are our brains even built this way in the first place? Well, you have to remember this crucial fact. Your brain is an organ that evolved for one main purpose, and that's survival. It was not designed for the modern world of spreadsheets and perfect rational logic. It was designed for a world where being fast was almost always better than being right. I mean, just look at the mismatch. In the world of our ancestors, you needed to make a snap judgment. Is that sound in the tall grass a lion, or is it just the wind? A quick decision, even if it was wrong, is what kept you alive. Survival was the #1 priority. But our world today, it demands complex analysis, long-term financial planning, and nuanced arguments. The priority has shifted to rationality, but we're still running on that ancient survival-focused hardware. And that really brings us to the final, most important idea. Yeah, our brains are the product of an evolutionary history that valued speed over accuracy. But here's the truly amazing part. This same flawed brain that we all have is capable of understanding its own flaws. And that is the real takeaway here. Knowing how your own mind works, knowing about that impulsive autopilot and that lazy co-pilot is the single most powerful tool you have for making better choices. So the real question isn't whether your brain is flawed. It is. The real question is, now that you know, are you going to learn to think better?